folks, just gonna drop a quick stream in and update you on my current thoughts. With the bullish mean reversion that's currently active on the 2-hour chart, I feel like it's important to not forget the potency of longer term trends on Bitcoin. Whenever we do see significant upward movement, we have seen compression with a dip to the downside following trend continuation. And while this cycle does appear to be more extended than prior episodes, because of the current bullish conditions on the 2-hour chart, I'm willing to stay in a bullish bias until that eventually dries out, if you will. Oops, I would like the 2-hour chart. And we are going to look at the ACAT indicator here, as it will define our current mean reversion condition. Very nice. So we're looking at this 500 period here, and I said that when we re-entered the 500 band, 1.25 standard deviation, we would see lateral trading and sideways price action until one of two conditions were met, where we either reverted to the 500 moving average or until its relative 3D wave PM reading turns green, which represents below the 0.7 value on wave PM. So we have a nicely defined compression range, which is holding, quite honestly, just spectacularly. I'm very impressed with the volatility overhead readings and how they've been holding compression in quite nicely. And even present expansions have trouble breaking past volatility overhead. That's why the compression range is, well, so well defined. So we have an active mean reversion condition as of October 9th, which was right here, which implied mean reversion to this mean, either through a lateral move where price goes sideways and the mean travels down to meet price, or just through a trend. But it doesn't look like we're getting trend, it looks like we're getting compression and reducing volume, which restores the market to a state of potential energy on both shorter time frames and higher time frames. So really, if we just end up going sideways with no volume and this does go below 0.7, then I'm, willing to bet on trend continuation based on the swing high. Until then, I'm going to be betting on the swing lows. How are we going to do that? Oh, well, we're actually getting our long signal right now. Right? For the 1/10th period CCI rollup. So because we have the 500 period here, we use the 50 period, which is the teal band, to catch the swing low for mean reversion condition entry. So this here is actually a long signal. Like as of 6 hours ago, it's okay to be long on Bitcoin. Right? And even if that's just a scalp for, just to swing high of the range 5%, I'm willing to bet on that. If we see a lower low, you should be fine for the moment. You could actually just switch this to a 1-to-1 profit ratio, where you would bet on, that we won't stop out beneath the compression range, but you'll also try to take profit at the top of the compression range. Or you can go for something a little more aggressive, where you can long now. You can stop out below the local low, because that wick does seem to be have cleared a lot of liquidity, and just as upward wicks imply downward move, downward wicks can imply upward moves. And because we are in a bullish condition, that could work out quite nicely for us. So what's next? I'm going to be long. I'm going to have a trailing take profit active around 5% to the upside, and a true take profit at either the mean or the top edge of this band. But if we actually do see that much bullish volume, I don't think I'll be taking profit at all. I'll just be preserving my entry in longer term trend. So we had a very clean expansion, with a very clean compression based on volatility overhead, and now we're in a clean compression based on the longest overexpanded period. So makes perfect sense that we're just seeing reducing volume. We're not getting interesting price action until either the compression range breaks or we see trend continuation or mean reversion. So I'm just going to take a small long here. Might try to short the top of the compression. Well, not yet. I'll short the top of the compression range once 3 wave PM reads 500 below 0.7. Until then, too risky. Which, I mean, it should happen within a day, I think. So we'll probably just go sideways. Yeah, not the most exciting, but what can you do? I'd like to point out that on the last live stream, CCI, that the 14 period could be used to catch a swing low, which happened right here. And lo and behold, we did see a nice upward bump to the upside. Now we are breaking below the bottom edge of the 1.25 standard deviation at the 50 period here, in addition to overexpansion on that 200 period. So Link is actually bearish at this time. I believe Link is either going to compress significantly or mean revert. So if you're in Link, I would recommend attempting to sell the swing high because trend continuation does not seem viable at this time. Okay, I don't think there's anywhere you can short Link, but if you are able to manage to catch that swing high, you could end up having a very profitable counter trend short, because active mean reversion conditions after longer term trends can be very potent. I think I'm trying to think of the last time I got an obvious example of this. I think it was ONT last year. I had a pretty good trade using this. We can take a look at it. And we're going to go to a 12-hour chart, just so I don't dig through too much of this. Where we had long-term significant uptrend with a compressionary mean reversion condition. Nice, okay. Let's take a look at the 4-hour over there. And I am really fond of ONT's trends. I would like to see a new one here shortly, because catching the swing high on this is just too easy. Wow. There was only one exchange, I think it was Hiobi, you could short ONT. I was considering doing so around this location. I didn't feel like setting up an account where I could only take unleveraged positions. So let's do the 6-hour. Identified the overexpansion, subsequent compressionary period. In this scenario, we just compressed with a slight downtrend. Right, if you actually, you can't immediately just trend down after an uptrend. It's very rare because you just expended a lot of energy pushing price up. You can't immediately push it down with the same amount of force. It's easier to let the market compress, restore to a state of potential energy, which is all of this price action here. Right? Do you see how the bands are tightening around this area? And then, significant volatility spike, a brief kickback, and then trend continuation. So, I'm expecting something similar on Link, to be honest. Be careful. Alrighty. Been a pleasure. I'll talk tomorrow at 1 p.m. MST. And I should have my microphone hooked up by then, so you get better audio quality. Ciao.